In this video, I'm going to talk about creating a basic singleton class. The singleton class is a class that is designed so that only one instance of the class can exist at a time. This allows us to create an instance of a class that can be shared across the entire application. This is especially useful when the access to a resource should be limited. It also can reduce the memory the program uses, as the same object is reused instead of one being created every time the class is required. Some uses for a singleton class are login, driver objects, like connects into a printer, for example. It can be used for caching, configuration information, or user information, or could be used for database connection. You could connect to the database once and then use the same connection for the application instead of having multiple connections. So to create a singleton class, the singleton class needs three things. It needs a private constructor, that's here. This is so that instances of the class cannot be created from outside of the class. It needs a private static field which will contain the only instance of the class. So you can see here the type of this field is singleton class. It's private, so it can't be accessed outside of this class. Using the static keyword means the field belongs to the class and not an instance of the class. And the other thing it needs is a public static method for getting the instance, creating and retrieving the instance of the class. So you can see here this get instance method. When this is called, the first thing it does is check if this object is null. If it is, it calls the constructor and creates an object. If it's not null, it'll just return the existing one. So if we go to the main Java file, we can see it's in the class. In the first thing it does here is it just calls get instance, which will go and create the singleton class and then return it. An instance of a singleton class and return it. And then we're doing it again here. So if we run this, you'll see on the console so here at this point, I've created two instances or two objects that call this get instance, but they're both pointing to the same object. As you can see, when at this point, I changed the value, the default value. If we go to the constructor, is default value. However, I set to val1, and you can see on the console, both of them get set to val1. Then we change it again, and they both get set to val2. And at the bottom of the main method, I've directly compared the two objects, and so if they equal, print same object in memory here. So you can see both objects are pointing to the same instance of a singleton class.